Hey guys, so we are going to make some pickles today. Drake and I actually made pickles about, I would say maybe like a month ago, and after they were fermented and everything, they did not last long at all. I'm telling you, we ate those suckers up so quickly. So I actually want to show you guys how I made my pickles. It's absolutely fun. It's something that you can do with your friends, with your kids, with a loved one, and maybe you can give them away as gifts or whatnot. But less talking and let's just get straight into the video. Okay, you guys, so things that you would need. Of course, you need pickles. These pickles are actually fresh pickles. I've been having them in the refrigerator for about maybe like a couple of days or so. These are freshly harvested thanks to our friends who actually gave these to us. You do need fresh dill. I actually got this from Walmart, but if you have a garden or if you have some type of resource to where you can actually get fresh dill or organic dill, go for that also. You don't have to have dill weed, but I actually want this also. I used that last time. This is crushed dill weed. Something that you can use, this is called pickling spice. You don't have to use it, but I got it at the local store, Bulk Barn, and they have lots of cool things, so you can pick some of that up also. It actually adds great flavor to it. Kosher salt, you can get you can use this also. From my research, there are so many different ways that you can use make pickles, so it's totally up to you. You do need some white vinegar, and of course you need something to put your pickles in. You can do bigger jars than these. You can do well, actually don't do smaller jars than these. These jars are actually a decent size, but of course they don't hold that much. So if you're giving like Christmas presents away or whatever, if you just want to bless somebody with some pickles, then you can use these. These are cute. You can decorate them really cutely, put like, you know, something around them. Anyways, so, but do not go smaller than that because it's gonna be a waste of time. But oh, crushed red pepper. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to actually do some dill pickles, I'm going to do some garlic pickles, and I'm going to do some spicy pickles. So you can actually add jalapenos. I may do that. I may go ahead on and add some jalapenos with the crushed red pepper into one of these jars. So the bigger one's going to be the dill. I'm going to do garlic here, and I'm going to do spicy there. So you would like to rinse your pickles off. So now I'm just going to chop the pickles however you desire to cut them. I'm actually going to do some burger slices, so I'm actually going to cut those like this. And then for the other for the whole pickles, I'm actually not going to put the pickles in the jar whole. So I'm going to slice the pickles. What I'm going to do is, so I just cut the bottom off like this, and then just slice it down the center. Give it a good slice. And then I'll probably just cut it in half like that. It just depends on how tall your jar is. I actually love sliced pickle, so I'm just gonna go ahead in and just slice it one more time. So now after you've gotten your pickles cut to your desired length and shape, because of course this is what you want, right? You want to actually give them a cold bath, as I've heard it called. So I'm just putting some kosher salt on them, and I'm actually going to let them sit in the refrigerator for about 2 hours. That will allow them to crisp up a little. You don't want to put them in the jars without crisping them, because they are going to actually get soggy, and that's not what you want. Nobody wants to eat soggy pickles, right? So I'm just continuing to put the salt on there, and you don't want to use just regular table salt, because it won't allow them to crisp up the way that they should. So make sure you get some kosher salt, or do some more research on different salts that you can actually use. I have my garlic prepared. I actually just the smaller ones, some of them I kept whole, and some of them I just chopped in half. So as you're waiting around on your pickles to finish their cold bath, ice bath, whatever you want to call it, you don't want to start your brine right away, okay? You want to wait until your pickles are finished. So you just kind of want to wait around. So it has been 2 hours. Halfway through the process, I actually just went in and kind of like moved them around. Now I'm going to wash them off with some cold water. So I ran the water just a little bit, just to make sure that it got as cold as it possibly could. This is about as much as you want to rinse them off. Okay, so 2 cups of water and 1 cup of pure white vinegar to start with. I'm going to put those in the pot. I'm actually going to add maybe about, let's see, I think I did 1.5 cups more water, and then I'm going to just add a little bit more vinegar. I didn't think that I would have enough for the jars that I actually have. And you know what? It's actually better to just have more brine than not enough brine. So I'm going to add 2/3 cup more of pure white vinegar. And it's totally up to you as to how much you want to add. Well, this thing is almost empty, so I guess that'll be 3/4 now with that little bit in there. So you just kind of want to add everything in there. I'm going to actually add some pickling spice in there as well. So what I'm going to do is just 1 tablespoon of pickling spice. So I'm going to put that in there. Some dill in there as well. So I'm going to put like the little sprigs in there. I put that and just a couple of leaves, because I'm actually going to put more of that inside of the jars when I actually start filling the jars up. So I'm also going to add 1 teaspoon of the kosher salt, and that's the reason why I actually washed some of the salt off of the pickles, because I knew that I was going to put some in here, and you don't want it to be, you know, salty. Just let it boil for a little bit. And then as it boils, the water is actually going to change color as it's developing those flavors. You can add more dill. You can add whatever you want to add in. So as the brine is being made, I'm actually going to just put these mason jars in this hot water. You can actually do this method, or you can actually boil water on the stove and put the mason jars in there to sanitize them. I've also seen people put them in the dishwasher on the sanitizing mode. The water that these are sitting in, it's actually pretty hot. As you can see, it's turned colors. I also decided to add some dill weed in there. Actually going to just use a sieve to separate. The sieve did a great job of separating what was in the pot that I don't want to go into the actual mason jar. So now I am actually ready to start putting the pickles and the brine inside of the actual jar. Just start placing the pickles inside, and however you want to put them, it's totally up to you. So this is what I'm doing, just putting them like that. And as you're doing that also, you want to just, you know, put some fresh dill in there towards the bottom. You can actually do that before you even start putting the pickles in there. So you just kind of want to make sure that you're actually layering them so that they can get the all of the flavors can actually go through. So I have different sizes. Some of them are like actually really long. Like I said, it just depends on the jar itself. So as it begins to like build up like that, you can see it kind of looks like that. You just kind of want to add some more in there, and it is totally up to you however you want to put the dill in there. Just make sure that you have it in between some of the pickles so that the flavor can actually penetrate through it. Now, since this is the dill pickles and it's only going to be dill flavored, I'm just putting fresh dill in there along with the brine. Okay, so as you can see, I'm actually finished with filling this one up. So now what I'm going to do is just get my brine, and I'm going to actually pour it in there. And you want to leave maybe like a half of an inch. So you don't want to fill it all the way to the top. You want to keep it to about maybe like right there. And I actually saw that you want to take like a paper towel and just dip it in that hot brine before closing the bottle. You just want to rub it across the top, and then also take your lid and rub it, and this enables the jar to seal. So I'm gonna put that on top of there. Now I'm going to close it up, and we are good to go. Okay, you guys, so everything is absolutely completed. I actually did not have as many cucumbers as I thought that I would have, but I improvised. So with this jar, I actually added onions and jalapenos in here to go along with the pickles that's in here. I have crushed red pepper in this one, as well as fresh dill and some dill weed that's floating around in there. It's going to be absolutely great. You can pickle anything, like seriously. You can absolutely pickle anything. The second jar that I have is actually, I have some burger slices in there, or you can put it in your salad, you can put it in whatever you want to. I have garlic that's in there, I have dill weed, and I also have fresh dill going on in there. So I just like to shake it up, let everything get around. And for the bigger jar, this is actually just dill. So the only thing that I have in here is the pickles, the brine, of course. I have brine in all of these jars, and I have some fresh dill, and I have some dill weed that's going on in here also. So these are actually just gonna sit around on a countertop in a cool environment. You don't want the environment to be cold or hot. It's required that it be, you know, an okay temperature. I can't give you an exact temperature, but just keep it in a cool place, someplace that just does not get that hot, neither does it get cold, because if it gets too hot, then it's actually going to prevent the pickles from crisping up, and you actually want them to crisp up. So the last time I actually made these, I think it took like 5 days, and then I was like, Drake, I am so tired of looking at these on the countertop. They change colors, like they just look so amazing. I just want to try them. So when I tried them, they actually were like really, really ready. I don't know if it's because of the potency of the brine, or because they were like really, really fresh pickles. I'm not sure. But it did not take a month. Usually they say you let it sit around for a month, and then after a month you can taste it. So until you're actually ready to eat these, don't open the jar, because you don't want to cause like contamination or you entering it and just, you know, nah. So just let it sit around. If you do it the way that I did it, maybe give it a week to be on the safe side. But yeah, I'm gonna let it sit for like a week or even 5 days. Just keep a great lookout at it, because I'm going to be ready to eat some pickles. So if you choose to make your own pickles, it's absolutely fun. You can make it a thing that you do with your children or a friend or even your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband.